What is up, Dog Tag fans? Wednesday night, 7:30 Central. We have got honorary guest Monty Skeels in the house. What's up, Monty?
Hey, doing good. Glad to
Uh,
be here.
yeah, thanks for coming on. A lot of our guys are out doing stuff. We got a great special guest tonight, so we couldn't leave him alone and just have me interview him because that'd be really boring. People get tired of hearing that. JVB still in the field, so please, everybody, send your prayers out for Jason. Make sure he's doing okay. Don't know what's going on with Gary. I know he had some stuff going on, and then Joel's supposed to join, so we'll try and get him on here in just a moment. But please send us your questions. We've got a great special guest. I've already posted it on social media. We'll get him on in here in a second, but we'll be right back. Well, Dog Tags Bowling is very pleased to introduce to the stage, bring him on from the stage, I should say, the commissioner, Mr. Tom Clark, is on the show. Holy cow! Wow! Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on with the show with us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you guys for what you do, and always enjoy seeing you at events, and really appreciate your efforts to spread the word about bowling and raise money for the right cause, and so thank you to you guys. I'd come on anytime you ask.
Well, I appreciate that. I know that when we were sitting at the Illinois Open and we got a chance to sit in the front row with you and we started talking about our dog tag stuff and you were asking about it and I said, hey, we do the podcast. You're like, anytime. And I jumped on that. You knew I was going to take advantage to get you on. So we really appreciate you taking time. Everyone's going to ask. I know that there's going to be 1,000 questions going on. Let's just get it out of the way. The CW, how's that going? Everything going good?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of mixed feelings for me because I really love the Fox deal. I love what Fox did for us, and we've been with them for 7 years, and this weekend's our last show on Fox, at least for the near future.
Right.
But it's really refreshing to have seen the number of other platforms and potential partners that were interested in having the PBA and having CW step up and make that happen, and to see their excitement already in how we're going to schedule the year and when they're going to start it and how they're going to promote it and how we're going to produce the shows and how they're going to try to help us when it comes to selling into the shows with sponsors. And they really have shown themselves to be very proactive partners already. And we haven't even been on yet. So, that's really exciting. And I think, and there's going to be some more news to announce here in the near future about other partners that will help shape the way that our season comes together in 2026. But in this immediate future, all I'm really thinking about is my friends at Fox and how, what they've done for us and how we've been able to advance the show and had so many great moments there. And it kind of, end of an era type of a situation here, this weekend. And it means a lot to me personally. So we'll get through that and then we'll start working together with our new partners moving forward. Are you there?
Did I lose you? Froze.
Oh, okay. As long as it's him, not me. I don't want to be blamed yet.
No, he's froze, but yeah, I'm excited to see what CW does. I mean, Fox was great. I thought, for the last 7 years, it was awesome. But we'll just have to wait and see what CW does and go from there. But
well, they have some really. I mean, the first thing that we've already kind of said and people are aware of that's pretty exciting is that it'll be 10 consecutive weeks of live shows on the same day every Sunday, and so it'll be a little closer to appointment television for fans that want that consistency.
Right.
There's advantages to programming the way we did with Fox as well, but I think that there's a lot of people, pretty excited about the idea that they can count on every week Sunday, and so that's right off the bat one of the things to look forward to.
Yeah, that will definitely be an advantage, coming up on, so they just know when it's going to be on, every Sunday. So, but anyway, it's going to be interesting to see who they will have for, broadcasters.
Oh yeah, well we'll be very involved with that. Excuse me, and we always have been, and we've always been what's called a third party production, which means the PBA really produces the show. We control that. We pay for that, and so we're really in charge of that production and end up owning it. Moving forward, the content that we produce, and those things have their advantages and disadvantages. Then with some partners, they get more involved with the production from an assistant standpoint. Fox was fantastic. It's the reason why we were able to do Strike Track on those shows, because Fox, it's an expensive technology, and Fox made that possible by believing in it and investing in it. And Fox also provided a lot of other production elements, like the show opens and new music and profiles of players and the different hero shots that we would do of players, and graphics and different things like that, and also feedback. And of course, we had the chance to work back again with Rob Stone, which was a great win for us. So there's a lot of things that Fox provided on the production side, even though we were producing those shows. And now with CW, we'll see how that relationship works in a similar fashion. Not really sure yet how it will. Got to tell you, PBA 50 is on is on Bowl TV right now, and the only reason why I break in to tell you that is not only is it the championship match and it's in a unique venue at the Bud Moore Lanes and Bill Moore's house, which is really cool to watch. But JJ, who really led the Players Championship all the way through, he's going to lose in the final to Tom Hess, but Tom Hess has the front nine.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I wish we could go picture in picture here. and we can watch Tom, try to go for 300 in this crazy location. He ran the whole ladder. He beat Dino Castillo. He beat Pete Weber. He beat Mike Haugen, and now he's bowling JJ for the title, and now he's coming up to to try to bowl 300 to win it, which would be a hell of a story. And he wants to do it. So
absolutely.
Keep us posted.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm watching the corner of my eye here.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
My internet failed me there real quick, so I apologize for that. But I did want to mention about the CW. I know that they did a really good job boosting the Xfinity Racing Series.
Yeah.
So they've and I also, from what I understand, and I mean, obviously way more than anybody else. I do like the fact that what I heard is that they're going to do 10 consecutive Sundays at a consistent time.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Perfect. Okay.
Monty and I were just talking about that, and as being already one of the things that a lot of fans are really excited about, and we've mentioned. And yeah, and you're right we didn't mention the Xfinity, but you're right. I mean, the ratings for those races that have been on CW are actually higher, than they were doing on FS1. So that's a positive sign as well.
Exactly. They have a good fan base for sports, so I think that's going to help. And Monty might have shared it with you, but one of the biggest things that we talk about on our show is we want people to get involved in bowling. I didn't know about bowling when I was a kid. Monty's bowled forever, but I have not. I didn't know that was even possible. I wish I'd have started at a younger age. Golf and bowling, two best sports ever, because you can do them forever. You can do them forever.
Absolutely. All right. Now Tom Hess has 11. So I'm sorry we have to break into the show. Can you hear it? Yeah, you got it?
I got it.
All right. Well, let's see if he gets this 12th one, because I don't know that there's ever been a 300 in the championship match of a PBA 50 event, and certainly not in the Bowl TV era. So
I got to
stop showing, dude.
Settings.
Maybe you can hear it.
Let us know.
It's more important.
Background. Let me see here.
300 in Bill Moore's place.
I'm blasting it, so maybe you can hear it. I don't know.
I can hear it.
Off his hand. Could be.
8.
Oh,
He almost left the bucket.
298.
Oh, well.
Oh,
298.
yeah. I tried to get it with this
Pretty
virtual
awesome.
background.
Okay, now we can concentrate. All right, now we got the show. I watch everything. I watch Bull TV. I watch every round. I watch as many games as I can. I watch all the PBA 50. I watched the Queens last night. Did you guys get a chance to watch the Queens? That was a good show. I saw some players. I had never seen the young woman from Malaysia Bowl before, and I want to watch her again. I think she was fun to watch and
phenomenal. And so the women have been out here at Don Carter Lane's our Cherry Bowl out here in Rockford a couple times. So we've got an opportunity to visit with them. Hey, we got some more guys joining the stage. Here we go. Let's bring them on. There's Gary made it. JVB made it. Look at that. What's up, gents?
Hey, what's happening? Sorry.
Glad you all could make it. So we were just talking to Tom about
duty calls. I'm sorry, man.
No worries. No worries at all. But yeah, we're glad that you guys can make it happen. We just watched Tom Hess win the PBA 50 event at Tom, tell me it's in someone's basement. He has a pair of lanes in his basement.
Yeah, Bill Moore. Yeah, great guy in Virginia, and he has a beautiful house and built lanes in his basement. It's really not the basement. It's like a different floor in the house, and he hosts the finals, and it really makes for a unique venue and something really cool to watch. Pete won there last year or a couple years ago, and he lit that place up. And then he made the final again today, which really still gets me excited to watch Pete Weber in a stepladder final. It doesn't matter. And the fact that he can still make a final when he's 60 years old and is pretty amazing. He's awesome. But Tommy Hess took him down. He took everybody down tonight and shoots 298 to beat JJ in the final. So another great win for a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, Pete competes in our local event here at Liberty Lanes, where we're going to have our dog tags event with Jerry Morano's team. He competed for the finals last year. So yeah, we get to bowl with him, the Pro-Am. So it's always great to have Pete in it. And Jerry knows him so well, and he's our buddy. So he makes sure that we get an opportunity to bowl with Pete during the Pro-Am. So that's always cool. Yeah,
I love Pete. One of the greatest things I had a chance to do was name a tournament after Pete and have him come be there. And I look forward to that every year to have him there. And it means more to the players to win a tournament with his name on it. It's the fans love a chance to see him. So love to honor the legends like that. And to me, Pete Weber has been the perfect combination of incredible bowling talent, but also entertainment value. And that's incredible. That's very important in any professional sport. And when you have somebody that people want to watch, whether they like them or not, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you want them to want to watch. And Pete, his classic line that I always tell people that he told me the first time I talked to him was, when I'm on television, I don't want anybody to turn the channel. And
that's right.
And that is a fantastic attitude, that I'd love everybody to have. And that's PD Dub. So.
Exactly. So we got a question here I thought was kind of cool. So you've seen tons of matches. What is your most favorite match or memorable moment you can remember?
Yeah, well, I have to sit there and with Pete on my mind, of course, the 5th U.S. Open that he won. I mean, I had a pretty good seat for that. The video of his last shot and who do you think you are? I am. Has been seen probably more than any shot in the history of bowling.
Absolutely.
By millions. And I'm in every one of those shots standing there. So. But, I think of recently, though, there's been a couple that have been just off the charts. I mean, this year, the Ethan Fiore, EJ Tackett roll-off that went 7 rounds was wild. I mean, that was pretty cool. But then at the same World Series this year, we saw Belmo and EJ face each other again. And the last time they faced each other in the World Championship final, when it was in Milwaukee in 2023. Were you there?
I was.
Yeah, that was one of the best matches anyone could ever possibly see.
Yeah, he had to throw the second one, the 10th to beat him, and he nutted it. I mean, it was just perfect.
And it was anyone in that building, your heart was in your throat. I mean, that was because I've never seen Belmo go right at somebody like that. I mean, he struck and he gave him that boom in his face, and he was trying to shake EJ. And EJ got up and faced it and did it, and he went right to his dad, and that was hot, man. And that was about as intense a battle between clearly the two best players of the last 15, 20 years in bowling history.
Absolutely.
And so I can't get that one out of my head. But, I've seen them all now. Man, Kelly Kulick just striking at will to win the Tournament of Champions, it was completely unprecedented and crazy. I always think of the upsets. Tom Smallwood, when he won the first World Series World Championship.
Yep.
That was unreal. So there's been so many. And then I think of the PBA League, and we had so many great moments there with team. When Norm Duke struck out to bowl 300 for the Dallas Strikers, that's a moment I'll never forget. I've never been in a building that got that loud. Right. I mean, it was unreal. So, I've been definitely lucky and had the best seat in the house.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you guys got any questions for Tom?
I yield to the man who's serving our country overseas. So
yeah,
I'll go with this guy.
Where are you at these days, Jason?
Well, right now I'm in Egypt. At the airport.
Jeez. Well, what time is it in Egypt?
4 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you very much.
Back home, so.
Yeah, these guys are not the most interview worthy ones. They don't know what questions to ask, especially being up so late. I can just tell he's wore out.
I have a question, Tom. So how did you become the commissioner for the PBA? I mean, how'd that happen?
Yeah, well, I grew up bowling and bowled in college, and I always loved bowling. And so I went into journalism, and I started my own newspaper, and then I worked at different newspapers and sports, and as a managing editor, as executive editor, and then I eventually ended up at USA Today, which when I was there from 2000 to 2005, it's the largest circulated newspaper in the country, and it's before really the internet took off and everybody still read the newspaper. And so I had a really good job there in sports, and one thing I did on the side was write a bowling column for the website, just because I love bowling and because I was always trying to get bowling in the regular paper. But for the most part, my stories were golf, tennis, NBA, NFL. But I got a few bowling stories in when I was there. But for the most part, I was just writing online. And I started, trying to talk about how the PBA could pick up. It was right after the new PBA with Microsoft owners. And so it felt like there's a chance for bowling to get back into the people's mindset, because for several years after it had been canceled by ABC, people lost track of the PBA. And so I thought these new guys really, with that amount of money and the type of firepower they brought in, would really give it a jolt. And they did. And so I would constantly write about it and talk about how the PBA could improve or how bowling could improve. And the USBC called me and said, why don't you do the things you're saying for us as opposed to just writing about them? And so they offered me a job as the head of marketing, head of communications and marketing, and also to be involved with a lot of decisions that they were making on a strategic level. And I went to the USBC. It was very difficult to leave USA Today. And I went there and started working. And one of the things I identified was the need for the USBC to do more television. And so I started to try to change people's attitudes about bowling and to get them to look at it as a sport and not just a recreation. And we did a giant survey, and it was like 20% of people thought bowling was a sport, which is ridiculous, and obviously it's 100% a sport. And so the fact that it was so far down is just telling you that there's just been bad PR. There's just been bad people's understanding of what this game is just kind of limited to the birthday party type crowd. And so I felt like we needed to get in front of more people. We created some interesting television with the women and with all the champions from all the USBC events. And then the PBA said, what you're doing for them, we would like you to do with us, and that made a lot more sense for me to just get involved with the PBA. and do that. So then they hired me in 2008 to be the deputy commissioner. And after about 3 years, they made me commissioner. So I've been commissioner since 2011. And really, it just came from, really caring a lot, trying to do proactive things that gained a lot of attention and eyeballs, whether they were liked or not. They made people take notice, and it was kind of like, well, what else can I do? And so I've always been a big fan of sports, and I became very good friends with people who were leaders in other sports while I was at USA Today, like the USGA and like the PGA Tour and the WTA and the ATP Tour in tennis and the NFL. And so I ended up being really close with them and learning how the business worked, so I felt comfortable doing that kind of work with bowling and bringing some of those attitudes to bowling. So, I've been doing it now that I've been the commissioner since 2011 and with the PBA since 2008. So I've been through all the ups and downs ever since then.
Right. And there's, with the new TV deal coming, there's going to be more. So
yeah, it's a whole new start. Yep.
And you're talking to tons of fans. We are definitely fans of the sport. We know it's a sport. I mean, I plan my vacations around it to come down to the U.S. Open every year. The guys that are on the show right now, we make it important for us to be there for the guys. And a lot of people ask us, how do we get to know these people? Well, we invest our time and our money to go during qualifying, hang out with them, say hello, and that they get to see us, and when they know that we're good people. So
you're there more than I am. I don't know. I usually get to an event, and there you are. So
well, we try to represent well. So as long as they keep letting us in the building and don't kick us out, we're doing well. I know that we had a question here. One question, you just hit it on the head. Do you think bowling as a sport can ever get to the level as other pro major sports?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I think it can for moments during a year. I don't know if it can sustain a following as large as things like football and basketball and baseball, but most sports can't. Most niche sports can't. So you kind of have to set your goals realistically. I think we can have one big event a year that's as big as anything going on. Kind of like if you think of horse racing or something, and they got races every day all over the country, but you only really know about the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont Stakes, the Triple Crown,
right.
or you're aware of IndyCar racing, but you really only watch the Indy 500,
right.
and I think that with bowling, we've always had the opportunity to try to center on one event, make one event be the blast off big one that no one should ever miss. Whether we can sustain the kinds of audiences that those other sports have is really tough. But sometimes I try to get people to think about comparing bowling to other niche sports, like almost all the sports that are in the Olympics, and realize that we've got it better than almost – there's an Olympics question. And we've got it better than almost all of the sports in the Olympics. I was just reading about this shot put star in the U.S. who's won the National Collegiate Championship for 4 years in a row. And trust me, there are people that are dedicated to the sport of shot put that think that should be on TV every Saturday on CW and there are people who think that track and field should be on. There's people that think swimming, you have these swimmers and they turn on Fox this Sunday and see, EJ Tackett taking on Jesper Svensson in a match for $100,000 with all these people watching, and swimmers wonder why don't we have something like that? Right. Why isn't there pro swimming on TV? So there's a lot. While we have kind of an envy of the big four sports and some other and golf and tennis and NASCAR that are kind of ahead of us and probably always will be.
Right.
But we are the envy of many other niche sports that are great sports, great enough to be in the Olympics. So
for sure,
so you have to kind of weigh that. And, I always also try to take people back to high school. And when you think about when you were in high school, the football team, the basketball team, they got the attention. They were the stars. The bowling team probably didn't. And neither did the golf team. And
golf team either. Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like, life is high school, and we have to fight for what we get, and we have to fight for respect, and we have to stand up to that and keep telling people, look, it is a great sport, and there's more going on than you think, and then we just have to keep building it that way.
Keep building it, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why we try and do the show. That's why we try and use it as a platform to help raise money for veterans. Granted, we are not on the competitive side as a professional, but all of us love the sport and will do anything for it. And I tell people all the time, if you don't think it's a sport, you go out and bowl 40 games and average 220. Tell me it's not a sport.
Yeah. I'll tell you, there's we've invited a lot of great athletes to take part, and they cannot keep up, and they can't do it. The only great athlete that's current today, as you guys know, is Mookie Betts, who really I mean, he grew up bowling. He loves bowling. His mother loves bowling, and he actually does have the talent and ability to, if he dedicated himself completely to it, to possibly be able to compete on a PBA level.
Yeah.
He has that. And of course, John Burkett.
Yes, absolutely.
He throughout his entire career never stopped bowling and never stopped loving it. And so there's been some players, but for the most part, all the guys that say they're great at bowling, they would be destroyed in any PBA event.
Destroyed. Yeah, absolutely. They'd be destroyed in some typical sport shot leagues. They'd be destroyed.
Absolutely.
Well, Tom, we try and keep our guests about 30 minutes here at 27. We greatly appreciate you coming.
I always go long. If you want more time, you can have more. I haven't learned how to stop talking yet.
Well,
do you have any more questions?
I would love to keep you on, but I am running out of gas.
That's right. I hope you feel better.
Yeah. I'm doing good. I was up at 4:00 this morning. I got a clean bill of health, but I'm gonna be off for a couple of days, kind of recovering. When you said that the 21st would work for you, I was like, absolutely. I'll make sure that I'm on the show. So I wanted to make sure that we had the chance to chit chat. But anything you guys want to say to Tom before we shut it down?
Thanks
I just
for all
appreciate.
your info.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Monty. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I appreciate everything you do, and enjoy the times that we get to sit and chat with you at some of the events. And you just keep doing you, man. Just keep on plugging, and whatever we do to maybe get this sport in the Olympics one day, I think it would take it over the top.
Yeah,
I know you don't have to say so, but I mean, I know you work behind the scenes with everyone and putting in, helping get the bids together, and so you just keep doing you, brother, and maybe we can push this thing over the top maybe before I get too old.
It's the Olympics lost at this point, so hopefully
I agree.
hopefully they see the light here coming up.
Yeah.
But I would just leave you with I hope everybody watches Saturday 2:30 Eastern and
right.
1:30 Central.
Go watch two
it's
former dog tags people.
Yeah, and it's a unique opportunity to watch. EJ and Jesper are two of the best bowlers that ever lived. There's no debate about that. They'll both be in the Hall of Fame. Jesper won the Tournament of Champions this year. EJ won the World Championship and the U.S. Open, and they're going to face each other in the playoffs, and it's a best of 5 with the 5th game, if necessary, being a roll-off, a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. And if it goes to that point and that happens, it will be, gripping television and incredibly pressure-packed shots. And they're bowling for $100,000, a title. We're at Strobel Arena at Thunder Bowl, and that place is going to be rocking for that final live on Big Fox. I mean, this is broadcast television. And it's our last time on Big Fox, and that's bittersweet. And so I just really hope you can bet on it if you want on Bet Rivers. You can bet on it in different casinos that carry the odds. And when you're getting a chance to watch guys like Jesper and EJ go at it for multiple games on 2 different oil patterns, a short, a long, you're going to watch these guys think their way through and know they can't miss because of how good their opponent is. And I just think it's fantastic. I like the idea of a one-on-one match. It's not something we do all the time, but having the opportunity to really concentrate on these 2 players, like a tennis match almost, or a boxing match, will be something special.
The other thing that's such a good thing for the sport two different international players. You got one for the United States, you got one for Sweden. So you got the international mix. You've got a two-hander versus a one-hander. You got a lefty versus a righty. So, I mean, they're not going to interfere with each other's shot. It's how well they can break the lanes down, and it's how well they can execute because they can't blame it on something else. So you couldn't have wrote a better script for it. It really can't.
I think, and you got a job next year, CW analyst. Goodbye, Randy. Randy's out. You're in, and you just start the show like that, and we're all gonna watch.
I'm in. I'll do it.
He can do it, man. He can do it.
Well, Tom,
fun.
thanks so much. We greatly appreciate it. I'm sure we'll see you again soon. I will be in Indianapolis for the U.S. Open again. Our guys will still be there. So whenever the guys are around, we'll definitely be there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for doing what you do, and thanks for your service. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
All right, guys, I am going to get out of here. I am wore out.
I'm sure.
Got a clean bill of health, so we're good to go with that. But I got a couple of days of recovery to get over. Like I said, it was important to me to make sure that I got on with Tom because I knew that his schedule was difficult. So we greatly appreciate Tom coming on. Thanks to all the fans that are out there. Thanks to JVB trying to jump on. I mean, he's got a busy schedule going on. Next week, we have Justin Knowles coming on. So we'll have him on at 7:30. I'll get some more info out for that. I should be good to go by then, so no worries, boys. Moonshine, always good to see you, my brother. How you feeling?
I'm doing well. They had a ceremony for the young men and women who have dedicated their life to enlist. So the MWR had a ceremony and asked those who had served to come and be a part and welcome them into the brother and sisterhood. So was a part of that, and that's kind of what I was, relaying to you yesterday. It was busy and time, but I got here just as straight in the door and was backstage to you. I was fixing to text you and say, hey man, I can't get in, but I'm watching from afar. So, but yeah, that's just been busy.
Well, good deal, man. All right. Monty, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
No, I'm glad you're doing great, and we'll see you probably next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for filling in, buddy. I greatly appreciate it. At least having somebody bounce some stuff off. So you are brothers in arms, always welcome. So we appreciate it, buddy.
No problem.
All right, boys, let's get out of here. All right, take care, y'all.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, buddy, I'm out.
You still live?
Yeah. Oh, I thought I hit it 3 times. We'll see. End stream.